Will the Metagross new toy, Arctazol, make an electric debut as they try to get back on track? Or will Arcanine and the Kingdras continue their hot streak? Hello everyone and welcome to another GSPL Week 4 match. I'm joined here by Harrison of the Miami Metagross.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, and we've also got Justice from the Sacramento Kingdras.
Hello.
Hey, Justice. And I don't know, I think for me at least this was the most anticipated match of the week. So yeah, I'm excited to see if it holds up. I'm sure you guys were excited about this game.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, I guess we were talking a little bit off screen about it, but, or off recording. Yeah, let's talk about these teams that you brought. Justice, you mentioned actually that this is the first time you've brought Arcanine. Was there a specific reason you thought Arcanine would be good here, or vice versa, or I don't know?
Well, I realize fire types in general don't do too well against a lot of the teams in the draft. You know, there's a lot of, very strong core members that don't get hit hard by Arcanine. And I thought for this match, Arcanine actually did pretty well against his team, having super effective stab against Excadrill, against all of his ice types.
Yeah.
Just did pretty well in that respect. I know he's weak to Excadrill's other stab, Earthquake, but if I were to switch Arcanine in and intimidate it, that the Earthquake wouldn't hurt so bad.
Right. Yeah. I guess it's super effective against 3 and resisted by 3. So, and you said, is this a banded Arcanine?
Yes, I brought Choice Band. The set was Flare Blitz, Close Combat Crunch, and Extreme Speed.
Okay.
And that was another reason I wanted to bring Arcanine, is because I wanted some sort of priority move in case Neufern or Darmanitan Scarf or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have brought Excadrill Sand, I guess that could have mattered. I don't know, just do last little bit of chip against them or something. Sure.
Yeah,
other than that, I mean, this has kind of been close to your standard team. This is the third time you've brought the Swampert, the Dragapult, the Tyranitar, and the Lantern have come every time, and this is like the second time you've brought Tangrowth, I think.
Second time bringing Tangrowth.
Yeah, and then what about you, Harrison? Let's talk about your team a little bit.
Yeah, so knowing that the Tyranitar was coming and setting sand, I wanted to play go for the first time and bring a Hail team.
Okay.
So I brought the Hail team with the core of the Ninetales and the Arctazol. I knew I wanted to bring both of those. I thought that those two paired together with Arctazol as a physical attacker and then Ninetales with a little bit of special attack. Mm-hmm. It covered a lot of the issues that I have with Justice's stuff. It hits the Tyranitar, the Tangrowth, the Swampert, the Lantern, the Crobat, the Dragapult, and the Sigilif, all for super effective damage across different moves.
Okay.
Especially with the Ninetales basically completely walling the Dragapult.
Sure.
Who was my biggest concern going into this as an offensive attacker. So I needed to make sure that I had something to deal with that. And then besides that, I wanted to bring Slowbro as a strong, just physical wall. Even if people know the exact set that I'm going to be running with it, it still does its job very well. And then I've got my Darmanitan there. The Darmanitan that I'm running this week is a max attack, choice band, adamant, max attack, max speed.
Okay.
To come in there and absolutely destroy something. The reason for all that attack and speed is just to make sure that I can kill the Tangrowth.
Sure.
The Tangrowth was my biggest worry as a defensive wall to my team.
Yeah.
And I think grass types do very well against my sand team. Mm-hmm. Feeling like I brought the sand team 3 weeks in a row.
3 weeks in a row. Yep.
3 weeks in a row, I wanted to change it up and bring the Hail team. I think the Hail team would do well against the Grass type.
Sure.
And then Wyvern for a strong special attacker. And then finally bring Excadrill. I brought a bulky, fast bulky Excadrill this year with just a little bit of attack investment.
Okay.
Playing more of a support role. The Excadrill this week has its max speed, 248 HP and 8 attack.
Okay.
Jolly with a focus sash. And he's my rock setter, so I'll lead with him. My plan was to lead with him and click rocks turn 1.
Yeah.
And then he's also running Iron Head for a stab attack move to deal with the Comfey. It also the Tyranitar, and it just gives me some flinch options.
Yeah.
And then Rapid Spin to get rid of any hazards that might be there, and Toxic.
Sure. Okay. Your Ninetales. So is it pretty offensive, or was it like a more, I don't know, defensive set? It was fast and specially defensive. Fast and specially defensive. Okay.
Yeah. So the spread on that one is 80 HP, 24 special attack, 252 special defense, and then 152 speed with a plus speed nature.
Okay. Was that so? Did that special attack like secure a KO or a 2-hit KO or something?
I'm pretty sure. Let's see. It definitely had a purpose in my prep.
Yeah.
I think it was to finish like a combination of moves to like chunk off the last like 30%. It was most likely it was to deal with if I'm thinking back correctly, it was to deal with as a specially defensive wall to the Dragapult, and then be able to hit the Lantern with the Lantern and the Swampert with freeze dries.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. There definitely was a reason.
Okay. I mean, I take your word for it. I just didn't know if you remember, because it's just like, 24 special attack or whatever, you know.
It was definitely there specifically for something, but I cannot recall at the moment what it is. Maybe as the game plays out, I'll remember.
Yeah. All right. Well.
And what was
What was the?
Sorry. I was just curious. Why the 151 speed or however much it was? 150.
The 152 speed. I think that was just what was left over that I wanted to dump into the speed. Let's see. That reaches me to 321.
That'll be like base 95-ish speed, something like that.
Was that there to outspeed like max speed Arcanine or something? I don't know what Ninetales was.
I'm looking at the spreads right now, Justice, that you sent me, and I would imagine it was probably to outspeed a max speed.
It would just
maybe a max speed, like. It wouldn't be a max speed T-Tar. That was...
No, that's way too fast. I mean, it will outspeed, I think... Gosh, I don't remember exactly what... it's like 317 or something, I think, is its max speed.
Actually, I just ran the calc, so yeah, you're exactly right, 317.
I've had Arcanine before on my draft team. I think it's 317.
I don't think I would have calced it for the Arcanine.
Okay.
Shoot. I don't know. But it definitely was, the Ninetales was my biggest one that I needed to toy with in terms of its stats, the Ninetales and the Arctozolt. So those are there specifically for a reason, and maybe if I can figure out what it is, I can tell Bo and you can pop it in the corner of the video or something. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right. Well, are you guys ready to jump into the game?
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, we didn't talk about leads, but I guess we're going to find out what it was. A Dragapult, and then I guess you already said it was the Excadrill. So you bring the dual screens again, I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was really scared of the offensive capabilities of Harrison's team here, and so I wanted something to kind of mitigate that.
Yeah.
Also, I will say, as someone who got hacked out pretty bad in week 1, I felt really bad about that burn.
That first turn Fire Blast burn, yeah.
Yeah.
The first turn burn Fire Blast was pretty. If it was any other Excadrill, that probably would have been absolutely devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you probably wouldn't have let it if it was any other Excadrill.
For sure, yeah. And one thing I do want to point out with this is with the dual screens on the Dragapult, I was also worried about it's like substitute Sableye.
Yeah, okay.
Was another one that I was concerned about. Okay. So the Noivern this week actually isn't Frisk, it's Infiltrator. Avoid those screens because I wanted to make sure I could play around those.
Good point. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. So what happens here? You get the Toxic off. You get the burn. It's all even, right? You hit the Toxic, you hit the burn. Slowbro comes in. You set up the other screen. I guess with the Reflect up, you're not too worried about taking a bunch of damage there. And this right here ended up being a big play. I guess I'll just...
So I was very much expecting Justice to switch at that point and not let his Dragapult take another tick of toxic damage.
Sure.
And since nothing on Justice's team resists a Draco Meteor, I wanted to go for a really bold play by getting Noivern in on the switch. And then no matter what was on the other side, since Noivern's Infiltrator, the screens don't matter. And so anything would be taking a max special attack Draco Meteor from the Noivern.
Sure.
And with 252 special attack modest Noivern, is doing at least 50% to everything and destroying a lot of other things.
Yeah, I guess you don't have a Dragon Resist, I suppose, on the other side there. So yeah, that could... Yeah.
But Justice definitely made the right move there. And removed a huge threat.
I would love to take credit for the read there, but I really was just going for my max damage on Slowbro. At that point, I was regretting not bringing Shadow Ball, but actually, clicking the Draco Meteor ended up working really well in my favor. And I was super close to switching.
Yeah.
I just didn't really have anything that could deal with Slowbro on a switch.
Yeah.
So,
good point.
Kind of stall it out.
And who did you expect him to go into there then? Or did you just not know?
Oh, I didn't know and I didn't really care.
Okay, fair enough.
No matter what, he was hitting my team hard.
Yeah. All right, so you get that kill real quick. That was pretty big.
I thought I lost the match at that point.
At that moment, you thought the game was over, huh?
Losing my Noivern that quickly.
Yeah, so you do get, and it's pretty smart to go into the Slowbro there, especially now, I don't know, but we actually have seen his full set, so he can't really hurt you.
Exactly. So I thought the Slowbro was a good play, and I expected the switch.
That's a bummer. Yeah.
I expected the switch because he wasn't going to take another Toxic, so I thought I would take a chance to get a cheeky another Toxic off.
And that was a good play.
It didn't work out in my favor there.
It was a good play, but it just didn't work out. Yeah. So Toxic, Protect, what is this, Teleport, and Scald, probably?
Well, I can tell you that set. The Slowbro this week
I was sorry, go ahead.
It's a max HP, max defense, and then 4 special defense, bold. Regenerator, lefties, Toxic, Scald, Protect, Slack Off.
Slack Off, yeah.
I was really debating between Toxic and Teleport, and I wanted to end up going with the Toxic just so I could have something to pressure, because with this week, I'm running a little bit more kind of like a pseudo stall team in a way.
Sure.
By having the Slack Off and the Protect on the Slowbro, and then I've got Protect on a couple other guys as well.
Okay.
Just to let the toxic damage stack up.
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense.
And then when I saw the crunch come out multiple times, my assumption was that he would be banded.
Yeah, I mean it's doing a lot. It's doing 45.
So I was able to calc that. I was able to calc that after his attack, and I saw that it was banded.
Okay.
Since I didn't see a life orb tick or anything, I knew it was banded off the bat. So I knew that I would be safe. I think switching into my Ninetales coming up on the crunch.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you get the leftovers tick here.
So here's just playing the long game to try and rack up the recovery.
It also burns his screens.
Yeah, exactly. That was another huge thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you go into you both switch here. Man-Thing comes in versus Mystique. And then you switch again. What do you go for here? Maybe the hypnosis. Yeah.
I rolled the dice and the luck went in my favor that time. After missing a toxic and a first turn burn, I was able to land the hypnosis, which was really nice.
Yeah. I mean, you deserved that one.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah, but you got the first turn wake up, I think.
No, I think I stayed for 1 or 2 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I want to bring up a point here real quick.
Okay.
This isn't Mold Breaker Excadrill. This is Sand Force. And so I wanted to run Sand Force on this because I figured that T-Tar was going to be coming. If he sets the sand, and I figured that Justice would want to bring some kind of weather to deal with my weather, whether that's his own sand or to shut off my hail. So I thought that Excadrill running Sand Force just to give a boost to attack, because I naturally outspeed the Tyranitar anyways. And so I know that I would be switching it in onto the T-Tar and getting the boost and attack I thought would be good, and kind of playing Justice's weather against him.
Sure. Yeah.
I felt like here I made the biggest mistake of this game.
Okay.
Because, seeing that Excadrill was burned.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, whatever he's going to throw out, whether it be Earthquake or Iron Head, probably not going to do that much because I really wasn't expecting Sand Force.
Oh, okay.
And then when I saw that it was a 2-hit KO even when he was burned.
Yeah.
Basically, you'll see I ended up clicking Dragon Dance.
Okay. Sure.
And because had I known that it was Sand Force, I would have stayed in because I know I outspeed.
Yeah. Right. So at this moment, you thought it could still be Sand Rush.
What's that?
So at this moment, you thought it was still Sand Rush.
Yeah, I just thought for some reason Excadrill was just ridiculous, and
Yeah. When you clicked that Dragon Dance, I thought that you were about to just sweep through my entire team.
It's going to do a lot.
Yeah, I think I very well could have, because I trained my Tyranitar to outspeed at +1 outspeed max speed Ninetales.
Okay.
That's the fastest thing on your team, barring any sort of choice scarf or Sand Rush, Slush Rush. So yeah, I realize I very well could have won just right there, but
I wonder.
Just on the calc might have a different. Might have made a different play and things might have gone differently, but
he could have brought in his Ninetales, sacked it, and then Arctozolt outspeeds, and he might be able to.
That's what I was thinking too, but I don't think. Well,
Voltbeak might kill you.
Voltbeak would still kill Tyranitar at like half HP regardless. So.
Yeah, but yeah, you didn't know. This could have been any Excadrill at this point, and so far, this is the first time you've seen it in the sand, and it's obviously been faster than your Tyranitar. So yeah, I don't know.
So I just ran the calc real quick, and Slush Rush Arctozolt outspeeds in the hail and does 80% minimum to Tyranitar.
Yeah, Voltbeak does.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
but that means
Tyranitar could have switched out to Swampert or something.
Sure. True.
Yeah, that's true. Tyranitar would kill Excadrill and then Ninetales, or at the very least Ninetales.
Yeah.
Sure. If you wanted to switch, so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. You missed your second toxic of the game there, Harrison.
Yep. I was not happy.
I felt really bad about that. I was still in a bad position.
Yeah.
But, I felt bad about, missing 2 toxics and getting the burn and, just not going your way.
Sure. Yeah, and then is this just a sack, or were you hoping to... Because doesn't he just click... Yeah, let's say he clicks Moonblast here.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting to have to sack Tyranitar. I really just wanted to, make sure that... Arctozolt couldn't just hop in and start clicking Voltbeak on my whole team.
Sure.
Well, I suppose it can't click Voltbeak on Swampert or Lantern.
Sure. Did you have a way to remove hazards? Justice?
No, because I watched all of Harrison's previous games,
Okay.
and I saw that he hadn't brought Stealth Rock or any form of hazards into any of them, even though he had two really good setters in Excadrill and Gigalith. And so I really wasn't expecting it. And so I was like, because I was really close to bringing Comfey.
Okay.
With defog to, deal with any hazards, because I wasn't planning on bringing hazards. But, but I elected to go with something else.
Sure.
And I was really regretting it as soon as he clicked his first
turn of Stealth Rock. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, no, they did a lot this game, for sure.
Yeah. I bet Excadrill is going to be the damage leader.
He might be. You go into Lockheed here versus Captain America. Getting up the screens again. What do you do? Just click Scald here? I don't know. You eat that Draco. Eat it.
Oh.
Yummy. You Scald him back. 6%.
Just a little.
Yeah, but the toxic damage, the sand. And I don't know.
I do at this point, since we're seeing the Slowbro kind of tank things here, I want to give shout out to my wife Stephanie for helping me make my Slowbro.
Okay.
I was debating.
Really?
I was debating between running leftovers on it, which I did end up doing, and running a different item.
Yes.
That was a little bit more of a cheeky play to deal with one threat specifically, and she told me I was being a little too focused and cheeky with worrying about one specific enemy as opposed to the entirety of it. So she talked me into running the leftovers, and the leftovers definitely helped me stall out a lot of sand, a lot of screens, and rack up some poison damage.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially running Protect.
Yeah, Protect, Slack Off, Toxic is pretty sustainable.
Yeah, you last a long time. So
you mentioned super annoying.
Knock off, yep. I've seen people run no item Slowbro to protect against knockoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because
that was something to consider as well, was the no item.
Because most things most people won't even do 50, or most people won't even do half with a knockoff. That doesn't knock off an item. But yeah, man, these rocks. I don't know. I just saw poor Arcanine take 25%.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And so all I'm wanting to do here is just stall out screens as much as I can, and rack up recovery.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, you get the Scald here. Take out the beautiful dog. I love Arcanine.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. You'll be back.
It's one of my 3 favorite Pokemon. Actually, I brought all 3 of my favorite Pokemon to this match.
Is it Lantern, Arcanine, and Swampert? No, Tyranitar, Lantern, Arcanine.
No, Tyranitar, Swampert, Arcanine.
Dang it. All right.
We're really close, though.
Yeah, man, this poor Tangrowth, he's just trying to knock off Slowbro here.
Yeah, lose your item.
Mystique comes in. Did you click it again? You went for the Giga Drain this time?
Yeah.
That would do more damage anyway, considering, Tangrowth had better special attack and Slowbro had weaker special defense. And
sure.
I was just tired of clicking knockoff.
Fair enough. You do pick off the Excadrill here. Was that just an intentional sack, Harrison?
It was an intentional sack to get in Darmanitan.
Yes.
Yeah.
This thing is difficult.
Yeah.
Man, dude, if you could click Flare Blitz there.
I didn't want to run the risk of Flare Blitzing onto the other 3.
Yeah.
I wanted to worry about getting the chip on the Tangrowth and potentially force it out.
Sure. Oh, I bet you deal half to everything on this team.
Or Toxic.
Even with the resist, but
I was committed to the long game here, so I wanted to be able to get Slowbro in, Toxic something, and then get some recovery.
Sure.
And that was a really good call on your part, because my team was definitely not prepared for stall.
Yeah.
I was definitely expecting a more offensive team from you.
Well, the heal bell there kind of put a crimp in my plan.
Yep, I was thinking that. Yeah, that mattered for sure. Freeze Dry here coming in clutch. I don't know why they made that move, but okay.
a dumb move. I hate that move.
I wanted to ask about this move, Justice. What was the thinking?
So I was originally thinking just switch in Dragapult here because I forgot about hail damage. I was calculating. I actually scrolled up on the list of moves that were done, and I wanted to see how much Dragapult was taking from Stealth Rock, and I knew that I would survive just barely. Then I completely forgot that hail was up, and so it wasn't an intentional stack, but I think I probably would have done the same thing even had I remembered about hail.
Okay, fair enough. In comes the Tangrowth. What do you do here? You get out of there with your Ninetales. Slowbro comes in. Weird that Slowbro's your switch into Tangrowth, but sure. Well, now he's gone. Goodbye, Captain America.
And quick question: does that for damage calculation, does that count as a Ninetales kill?
It just counts as like friendly. We don't give Ninetales a kill, but like your team didn't get the kill. It'd be like dying to Life Orb damage or something.
Right.
Sorry to ruin your differential, Justin.
Yeah,
I was still get the differential. You still get plus or minus. It's still the same. It's just you don't get credit for it. Sorry.
Sure, for sure.
In the note, like I was actually doing all that today, and in the notes I put friendly fire. I put Slowbro dies to friendly fire, and there's the Flare Blitz. You're just tired.
Yeah, so Justin,
tired.
Why did you keep the Tangrowth in?
Because I knew that Flare Blitz was going to chunk anything on my team, and Tangrowth had Rocky Helmet. Plus, it was the most physically defensive. Sure. I knew it was going to die after seeing how much U-turn did. Yeah. I was like, there's no way I'm living this because I was not expecting it to be banded.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if he switches there, whatever switch it, like the Lantern just dies. I'm pretty sure it's low enough that it dies.
Yeah, Lantern's at pretty low.
And the Swampert gets 2-hit KO'd anyways, so I don't think
everything gets 2-hit KO, and I outspeed all of it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I think Swampert comes in here. And again, I think, you 2-hit KO. I think you would 2-hit KO. I think we're going to find out right now.
What's important to note is with that, it's a 2-hit KO after Stealth Rock damage.
It's a 2-hit KO regardless. But you just did 53.
It's a guaranteed KO after Stealth Rocks and hail. Well, that was a...
Was that a high roll?
No, it is 50.2 min. So that's
what I was saying. If he switches into Swampert, he's basically just sacking a Swampert because you hit it and then you outspeed, so it doesn't. Yeah. I think he just had to pick. He just had to choose what mon he wanted to lose. And considering you have 2 ice types, I suppose keeping the water ones makes sense.
At this point, I know Ninetales has freeze dry, and so I'm like, oh, okay, I lost regardless because freeze dry takes out both of my remaining Pokemon at the HP that they're at.
Right, but I was gonna, me and Harrison were actually talking about this, but he chooses not to go for freeze dry actually and gets the veil up. Really
surprised me. Yeah. At this point, I was like, wait, do I win? But then I was like, no, I don't win because Arctozolt Icicle Crash takes out Swampert regardless.
I think just clicking freeze dry though there wins too. I think.
I thought so.
What's the Lantern? What is the Lantern at?
Like 30.
Well, I 38. Like 20% or something.
Yeah, so freeze dry twice does win the game.
Yeah,
and that would have been the better play. Absolutely.
I think so.
I think I was just excited to sweep with Arctozolt.
Yeah, because you can decide.
No, I can understand wanting. This is your newest edition, and I can understand wanting to boost up its
stats.
I need to catch it up a little bit with Excadrill and Noivern.
But that last turn is exactly why it's probably better to click. I don't know if anyone noticed, but the Icicle Crash missed there.
It was definitely not the optimal play, and I definitely should have just clicked freeze dry twice.
Sure.
I think I had an end game in my mind that I wanted to go towards.
Yeah.
And it ended up working out.
Yep. And then you go for.
I did not know that it learned Stomping Tantrum.
Yeah, it's real good coverage against other electric types.
Sure.
Against rock types.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, it certainly did its job against Lantern. It makes me sad, because after Excadrill died, I was like, well, Lantern's item is useless because, I just had
air balloon.
Air balloon on it. Not that it would have made any difference. I wouldn't have done anything differently had I known, but
yeah.
Hey, it was a really, really good game. Came down to just one Pokemon.
Yep.
It was really back and forth for basically the whole game.
Yeah.
It was a really good game. I was sweating the whole time.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really close. It was, like you said, pretty swingy. Like the Noivern dying right away, I was like, oh, and like that first turn burn on your Excadrill, I was like, oh no, this is looking pretty bad.
Harrison pulled it together though.
He did.
It was bad luck.
I needed a win to come off of last week's unfortunateness.
Yeah, and you were right, by the way, Justice. Excadrill did lead this game in damage. I think it had 286 damage, and I believe it led everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
It led at only 286. I mean, not that that's not a number to scoff at, but
yeah.
It's not.
I was expecting maybe a bit more.
Yeah. Well, when you see Mew do 600 and then 547 in back-to-back weeks, you're right. 286 doesn't sound like a lot. But yeah. All right. Well, it was a great game. Do you guys have anything else you want to add before we sign off?
I will say good luck to you, Harrison, with the rest of your season, and I hope to see you. Actually, I told him yesterday, I hope to see you in playoffs, but I will take that back and say I hope I do not see you in playoffs, because this was not fun to come in expecting one thing and then getting a whole nother thing, and then it's like, now I got to think about everybody else's different possible strategies and everything. But that was a really, really well played game, Harrison.
Yeah, you too, man. It was phenomenal. I had this game circled on my calendar for the entire season as like the biggest fight, and I did come out on top this time. But I know that Justice is going to come back with something absolutely crazy. And if and when we run into each other in the playoffs, I know it's going to be just as close as this one. And dude, your team is really scary. Yeah. Your team is really scary. So I'm fully. I know that you'll come back with something absolutely wild that is going to throw me for a loop.
Well, thank you, man. That's if we play each other in playoffs. If we both get to playoffs.
True.
I'm confident in both of our abilities, and I think we will eventually see each other in the playoffs, one way or the other.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I will see you both in the playoffs. That'll be fun. I'll get to watch.
We look forward to seeing you both.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks guys for being on. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.